So welcome to highlights from last night's competition series event in the Alpine GT4 Monaco / Azure. I'm on the second row because it's a bit of a jumbled up grid and none of us have actually qualified. Well, the bloke about 10 cars behind me here. And so Monaco being Monaco, it's hard to pass. So I'm thinking if I can get past this guy, and I've got a bit of a run on him actually coming up the hill. So sitting in P2, cold tyres, and just trying to get through here clean. And I get a better line on entry into Casino and get a real run on this guy. So I've run down the inside, but he's covered it much tighter than I expected, and bang, that's my bad. So I'm going to do a swingman view. And see, I came in tighter at Massinade, got a better exit at Casino. I'm diving down the right. He can see me, so he doesn't use the conventional racing line. He uses a very defensive line, which is fair play on his side, but I didn't anticipate it and therefore outbraked myself. We're off the rubbered line. I was unsighted for my normal braking marker, which is the Marshall on the left. So I braked too late and caused the contact, so my bad. So I'm now down in P7, but this guy's spun. So I'm now P6, I think. And we continue on from there. We'll capture a bit more of the opening lap just for fun as we head through the tunnel and down to the Nouvelle chicane. We're on cold brakes and cold tyres, so let's see if everybody spots their braking marker correctly. And it's a pretty good pretty tidy procession through there, really. We'll capture the rest of this first lap just for posterity. Rascasse, first swimming pool chicane, second swimming pool chicane, and everybody's behaving quite well. And at this point I'm thinking it was a jumbled up grid and I probably haven't got any more pace than these guys in front of me, so I've just got to keep my nose clean and cruise around, and maybe hope that attrition will give me some opportunity to move up from sort of P7 or P8 that I'm in now. So end of lap 2, and I'm sitting very tight, very close to these two guys in front, and I spot a bit of an opening there. But I'm a little bit of an eager beaver. That gap was always going to close, and I've spun that poor gentleman there. So this time I'm going to actually wait and do the right thing and let him repass me. So I'm now 8th, now 9th, and we're off again. So it's been a pretty eventful opening 2 laps, from second on the grid to 9th in the race. And lap 3, we've still got about 20 odd minutes to go, so let's put our head down and see what we can get done. Now the gentleman up ahead who I inconvenienced back at Anthony Noakes has had a massive off there, lost a wheel, so that's game over. So I've got another position back quite handily, and I managed to pull off here the move I tried on lap 1 by diving down the inside. Managed to spot the braking this time and get the move done. So that's happy days. Lap 3. Now start of lap 4, and I see this car exiting the pits and think, what's going on here? And it takes me a second to process that this driver's probably had a drive through for track limits. There's not many spots where you can abuse track limits here. Turn 1, the Nouvelle chicane, and maybe the second swimming pool chicane. And he's apparently scored a drive through. This was the fastest guy on track. He set the quickest lap. My fastest lap was the second quickest lap, actually, maybe half a second slower than him. And at one point in clear air, I did own the fastest lap of the race for a little while. But the gentleman in front of me is definitely not going to be caught and passed by me. He's the fastest guy on track, so I'm just going to follow him around now. I've got relatively clear air, and now time to see if I can make up some ground and enjoy some driving around here at Circuit d'Azur / Monaco. Now it's a lap or so later, and the pair of us have caught somebody else, and I've not disgraced myself. I've managed to keep pace with the quickest guy here in this split, and we've both caught up with another driver, and to my surprise, that same driver has been called into the pits again to serve another drive through, so obviously having some issue there. So now I'm left to chase this other driver on my own, which I'll stay on board with for a minute, because that's usually good fun. Car's feeling good at this stage. I just did probably 20 laps practice in this car. First time I've driven this car. I did a setup session in the Cup version, and this car feels pretty much the same. Here at Monaco, I put it a bit more into an oversteer mode, increased the rear anti-roll bar, and lowered the front slow bar dampers one click, because I was definitely not getting any oversteer, and the car felt very nice all the way through this race. Now that gentleman who was parked facing the wrong way was the poor chap that I caused contact with in lap 1 at Mirabeau Horde, so he's really been in the wars. But to his credit, he came back out again, reversed the car around and came back out and continued racing. So well done, that man. So I'm hoping now to be able to catch and effect a clean pass on track, and managing to put this other driver under enough pressure to make him know I'm there. They're kind of mid-race at the moment. I don't know which lap it is. Maybe lap 6 or something, 5 or 6. And this little Alpine car is producing some good fun racing, even at Monaco, which surprised me. We got a massive oversteer moment from that guy, and that allowed me to get through. I got a bit of a tap from him, a bit of a love tap as I passed. We'll look at that on Swingman. So here's that pass viewed from the outboard view. Massive oversteer moment, touches the barrier, and in his efforts to get some back up to speed, taps me slightly on the rear, but no harm done. And lo and behold, after all that action, I am now P4. I'm talking to Jeffrey, the crew chief, and he's telling me that the podium group, or P3 at least, is about 8 seconds up the track, so all is not lost. I'm going to do my best to kind of close in and see what I can do about this gap. Now, coming out of the tunnel now, with only a couple of laps to go, I'm just getting a glimpse of that lead group, and there's no way I'm going to catch them, but I'm pretty happy to settle for 4th place after the eventful race that I've had, and just trying to keep a good pace up and keep lapping cleanly. I've now lost my fastest lap of the race status, because the chappie who'd had the couple of drive-throughs has gone quicker yet again. But I come to back, and it is a nightmare. It's like people trying to enter a car park. So I just find the best way through that I can, and suddenly I'm P3. Let's have a look at how that happened. Now this car here is the leader of the race, feeling pretty good. He's leading this trio of podium cars. The 4th car in the line is actually lapped. He's the guy who's had the 2 drive-throughs, and this is what happens. So we'll have another look. Normal speed. Bang. He's tagged by P2. And a slow-mo. That looked like Kimi Räikkönen on the stand there on the left. And bang. Just no escaping that. Driver error. Outbraked himself. And an unseemly squabble ensued from the 3 gentlemen on the podium, and the poor race leader is set there, left their nose into the fence. Everyone squeezes by, including me. That's the lapped car, and the race long winner is left to consider his situation. And just summing up, really good fun. Bit of carnage, some of it my fault, some of it not. But really good racing, got to do some legal passes, car felt real, worked really well at Monaco here. So overall, great fun. So I rescued P3 from a bit of a carnage, and some of the most fun racing I've had in 25 minutes in recent memory. So I'm just pulling in here and stopping before Saint Devote to type a couple of messages of apology. And on that note, I'll sign out. Thanks very much for joining me. See you at the next one.